Welcome, everyone. I am Mark. This is By Divine Design. Welcome to our free weekly healing transmission and meditation that happens every week at 3 p.m. Wednesday, Eastern Time on Zoom. Everyone's welcome to join. Glad you are all here today. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about momentums and how to step out of momentums, especially the ones you don't prefer being in at that moment. And in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to do a transmission that's going to take us deeply into pure being, which is a great dissolver of momentums. So what do we mean by momentums? Well, momentums can be good and can be bad or challenging. So one of my favorite examples is always surfing. So when you're out on a surfboard and you're waiting for the next set of swells to come in, you're in between momentums. But then as a swell approaches, that has a certain momentum. And because you're out there to surf, you start to paddle to try and match your speed to the momentum of the swell. And the hope is that the momentum of the wave will eventually grab you and start propelling you forward. So this is where you want to get involved in a momentum. You want it to carry you forth. You're ready for that. You're looking for that. You're in a position to enjoy that. So a challenging momentum, or one you might not prefer, would be, let's say, again, you're surfing and you're trying to dig down through the oncoming waves to get yourself in position for riding a wave. So you see a wave or a swell approaching and you dig your front of your board down and try to go under the lip of the wave so you can shoot through its momentum. But let's say you didn't position yourself perfectly and the wave catches you, flips you over, takes you under, is just holding you under the water, maybe damaging your board, maybe pushing you against the coral. So that's a momentum that you don't want to be in. So again, these are metaphors. This can be anything in your life. So on Sunday, every Sunday, those who are involved in my online program, The Loving Bliss of Being, get to participate in what is now called the Seed Group and Healing Circle. And our Sunday Seed Group was powerful as usual. And then right near the end of the transmission part, this vaster context energies we've been working with recently went into a totally new mode. It just went somewhere completely new that was quite potent, quite powerful. And then soon after that, we ended the transmission and shared, and there was questions and answers. Anyhow, then, I went on with my day. And that night, I was just, the energy of that was still pouring through my system. I couldn't sleep at all. I felt like I was disintegrating and upgrading at the same time. But I'm laying in bed wanting to sleep, and this energy is pouring through me. And I keep trying to shift, doing this or that while still laying in bed. And the momentum's just too strong. It's just overwhelming me. It's taking me for a ride. And it's not one I was particularly enjoying. So the thought was, okay, how do I break this momentum? Well, sometimes the best way to break a momentum is to change positions and or change locations. So instead of trying to shift out of the momentum while still laying on my back in bed, I got up from my bed, got my warm shawl, came out to the living room, sat in an easy chair, and now it was easy to like shift the momentum. I mean, the momentum had already begun shifting, but now I could enter into pure being. So again, in the Loving Bliss of Being course, pure being is the first rung on the ladder of divine love consciousness. And you're taught different ways to kind of like eventually just instantly access pure being. And one of the reasons pure being is great for momentums that you want to break is because pure being is just completely neutral, silent, still, calm. So if you're in a momentum, especially one where you feel like you have too much energy running through your body or too many emotions or too much thinking, pure being's a great antidote to that. Because the moment you're able to shift into pure being, all that just starts to get neutralized and you shift into a different momentum or just a different space. Usually if you're in pure being, there's no momentum at all. All momentums are just brought to a standstill. Another example might be you're in an interaction with, like, let's say a neighbor or a friend, and the interaction's starting to go in a direction you know you don't really want to go. Maybe it's getting political or this or that. And so one of the best ways to shift the momentum is to prevent it from actually getting started, from taking hold. So if the sooner you can notice, oh, this is maybe going in a direction I don't want it to go, you can do something to shift the momentum. But let's say it's already started to go into a momentum that's not feeling comfortable. Well, again, if you already have the tools and the access to pure being where you can just shift it in the moment you shift into pure being, you change, the person's response to you changes whether they know it or not. And that momentum shifts into something, or it might be just that you take your leave. You're like, okay, I've got to go, or you have more presence of mind the moment you have even a little bit of pure being state. You're free. You're free of the momentum. You're free to make a new decision. You don't get pulled in. You don't get hooked. You don't get triggered. You're more at choice. You have more freedom to choose in that moment what really is the highest good for me, for this other person. Anyhow, so that's just highlighting what a momentum is and what we can do, especially by accessing our own pure being. So pure being is who and what we are all the time. It's just, for most of us, it's background. It's in the background. Whatever we're focused on, whatever we're doing is the foreground. And we're leaving our who and what we truly are in the background. So in the course, Loving Bliss of Being, you're encouraged to begin to practice this. So whether you're open-eyed or closed eyes, whether you're eating a meal or chatting on the phone or falling asleep, you can ease yourself into an awareness of pure being or any of the other states of being along the ladder of divine love consciousness. So that what's usually in the background can at least be semi in the foreground, if not completely in the foreground. So we're going to play with that today in today's transmission. We're instead of teaching you different ways to access it on your own, we're just going to use the transmission to pull you into it, to help you become more familiar with it, to help you to just access it by choice more and more often. So let's do that. Okay, let's begin. This is a transmission of divine love consciousness. It's always for your highest good and the highest good of all. As the transmission comes in, I do my best to describe what's happening, put it into words to help you better track what's happening. But really, all you need to do is relax. Allow the transmission to meditate you. Allow yourself to simply notice whatever you're noticing. Welcome that. Allow it to pass right through. So already you might feel yourself relaxing a bit more. Becoming a bit more settled, open. As we pull you more and more into infinite divine being, who and what you truly are. Helping you to be more aware of yourself as pure being. This state of pure being. It automatically brings greater quiet to the mind and heart. There's a profound stillness here. If thoughts do arise, that's fine. The state of pure being, one of the side effects is it helps break down any mechanisms in your mind that just stimulate the random, noisy thoughts, fear-based, anxiety-based thoughts. The ability to project those thoughts into the future, to scare yourself. All of this is being dissolved. Pure being contains everything, contains nothing, neutralizes everything. And perhaps each time you begin to relax into this, there may be some fears that come to the surface, some beliefs, such as, this is too much like death. I'm not sure I want this. Those are already clearing. There's another layer coming up. If I truly give in to this, I won't want to do anything. As if that's not okay. As if that would be your permanent state forever. Would you be willing to just allow yourself to not do anything, not be anything for this moment? It's good for you to know that this state of pure being is extremely healing. Your physical body, your heart, your mind love the state of pure being. The rest, the relaxation. Now, sometimes pure being on its own begins to rise into bliss of being. Instead of pure stillness, it begins to take on a subtle vibration, a subtle blissfulness or peacefulness. Something you can notice and name that feels good. So some of you will remain just purely in pure being. Some of you are shifting a little towards bliss of being. It's all fine. The focus so far has been on helping you individually experience pure being. And now we're bringing the whole group into one integrated experience of pure being. Just notice what you notice, how it shifts your own experience as the group experience shifts even more purely into the stillness. And this group includes everyone who will ever watch this video later, which from the point of view of the transmission is always now. With the group maintaining a consistent state of pure being, the energies of the vaster context are appearing all around us, infinitely in every direction, all around us, helping to refine the stillness and carry it out to the whole planet, to the whole collective. Of course, to resonate pure being to the whole world, of which we are all a part of, amplifies the pure being within each of us. What would it be like to allow pure being so deeply, so profoundly, it truly overtakes the whole world? Would you be willing to allow anything that's still at war within your own energy system to bask in this pure being, be neutralized, cleansed, balanced? You might notice how that is also now being resonated out to the whole planet, to every country, every individual, every politician, every soldier. Just notice what you notice. Is there any good reason to not be fully, completely at peace within now? What if there were no valid excuses to not be at peace? Would you be willing to allow yourself to experience a deeper peace than ever before? What if there's no end to the depth of this peace? Would you allow yourself to go even more deeply into your pure being? And the beings and energies of the vaster context that are here assisting us in refining this peace, deepening this peace, sharing this with all the world and ultimately with all that is. They're pulling us towards a activation shift point. That will allow this experience of peace to remain permanently accessible. It's like they're pulling different pieces of the puzzle together for us each individually, for this group, for the whole planet. Looking for those last few remaining pieces and where they go. There may be a little bit of turbulence as we approach this shift point. And everything begins to fall into place. What would it be like to have permanent, unconditional access to deep, deep peace of your own pure being? The vaster context is highlighting that the way to make this truly permanent and profound is to not only share it with all of the earth presently, but all of the ancestors of the earth, past, present, and future. This is what the vaster context knows and does, and is able to use us as an anchor point into that whole of humanity, past, present, and future. So just ride this wave of peace as we bring peace across time. As we melt various conflicts before they even fully started across history. Those were experiences that humans needed upon this planet at those times. But it's not what we need now. And it's okay to heal it and release it for the whole planet, for all the ancestors. Would you be willing to let go of any and all attachment to this or that history of things? Any and all stories about what happened? Personally, as countries, as people. So peace can truly reign here, now, and always on this planet. It's good for you to know there is no loss in letting go of your own personal stories that are of less than peace. You've already learned what you needed to learn. You've already had the experiences you wanted to have. To release the story just releases those low vibrational energies from your system so you can function at a higher vibration more easily, more effortlessly, more consistently. While creating new experiences, new stories that are more befitting of who and what you truly are. Would you be willing to include in this release of all of history, of all your stories from this life, any and all other lives, including the long distance um, lifetimes of like Atlantis and Lemuria, even those far distant times, and any and all low vibrational effects of those times? Would you be willing to allow them to bathe in the pure neutralizing energies, pure being? From this state of pure being, would you be willing to allow yourself, your energy system, to reevaluate any and all identifications, including identifying as this or that sex, this or that sexuality, this or that country or culture or nationality, race, profession? Remember who and what you truly are. It's infinite and divine, and just takes these characters on for a time to have certain experiences, to grow and evolve ultimately towards God realization. Would you be willing to allow yourself to be carried as far as you're ready into God realization? Perfect peace, perfect freedom, perfect love. If not now, when? Now you might bring some awareness to who you are now, what your experience of the body is now, where you are now, just notice as you experience the question, why am I? Why am I? And if it's even more simple than that, why am I? This session is complete. Infinite blessings.